The 2011 flat season was a coming of age for Joseph O'Brien. Starting the season an apprentice still, he went on to claim a classic.
Roderick O'Connor and Joseph O'Brien will win the Abu Dhabi 2,000 guineas for his father, Aidan.
Oh, what a moment for Joseph O'Brien, first classic.
And he's an apprentice in name only. This guy's got a great brain and he's only 18 on Monday.
Further Group 1s.
Here's Camelot now, the purple jacket fencing the far side, and it's Camelot the favourite with Joseph O'Brien, who swept through to an easy victory in the Racing Post Trophy. He's won in a couple of lengths hard held.
And a Breeders' Cup triumph.
History in the making. St Nicholas Abbey, Joey O'Brien for his father, Aidan O'Brien. History is made. St Nicholas Abbey wins.
Father's Day at the Breeders' Cup. Can you believe that? 18-year-old Joseph O'Brien given the mount by his father, Aidan O'Brien, the world-class trainer, and he delivers him a Breeders' Cup championship.
Very special, yeah, it was unbelievable.
Congratulations, Joseph. You are the youngest jockey to ever win a Breeders' Cup race. How's it feel?
It's a dream come true.
Successes that proved he was more than just the trainer's son. He had become a top-flight jockey.
2011. It was a good year, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was very fortunate. I had some great opportunities, and it turned out to be a very good year, thank God.
Very good. I think it was amazing, was it? At the start of that season, did you have any clue what you might achieve?
I suppose I started off the year like everyone else does, hoping to ride as many winners as possible and to take every opportunity that you get. Yeah. And some things went very well and some things not so well. So it's a very good year, and please God we can keep it going.
What went not so well in a year like that? Breeders' Cups classic.
I know, it was a great year. It was a great year. So I was very fortunate. So please God we can keep trying and try and have next year as good as last year. Obviously it'll be difficult, but we'll have to try.
Let's start with the first really big success of last season, which was the Irish 2,000 guineas, of course, at the Curragh, Roderick O'Connor. Great success for you personally, but a great family success as well, I guess.
It was a great day. Obviously, it was my first Group 1. He was disappointed slightly in Newmarket, obviously, and going to the Curragh, there was we'd hoped he'd come back to his best because he was working nicely at home and he ran a great race. I had a plan in my head and we had decided what we wanted to do, and I had a nice draw and he jumped in it. I was in front most of the way and I didn't really see another horse still going past the line.
But Roderick O'Connor and Joseph O'Brien lead them down now towards the final furlong, being followed by Oracle, and then comes on the outside Dubawi Gold. But it's Roderick O'Connor and Joseph O'Brien who leads his stable companion Oracle. Dubawi Gold making ground on the outside, but it's Roderick O'Connor as they race up towards the finish. Roderick O'Connor and Joseph O'Brien will win the Abu Dhabi 2,000 guineas for his father, Aidan.
It was a dream come true, I said at the time, and it really was.
So we get our first classic, and then next big horse for you last season, I suppose, was Maybe, with a terrific performance in the Moyglare.
She won her maiden very impressively and won at Royal Ascot. She won well in Leopardstown, and she went to the Curragh twice and won very impressively both times. So she's an exciting filly for next year.
Yeah, you sat on her this morning. How is she?
Yeah, she's in good form.
How good?
She's in good form. I was just taking over this time of year, so she's fresh and well.
Looking forward to a good season for her, and of course a good season potentially for a very exciting colt as well, Camelot, who you also rode.
Yeah, Camelot. He's a very exciting horse also, and I suppose he's doing well. So he's just taking over also. So yeah, we're hopeful.
Okay. So we have our first classic. We ride Group 1 winners who could be classic winners themselves this season, and then we go to America and we win a Breeders' Cup.
The Breeders' Cup is the world stage, and to even ride there was amazing, and for the horse to come back to some of his best form it was a great day.
Another great family day, presumably, because the Breeders' Cup has been a tough nut to crack, obviously, for this team, because it's such a hard place to go to. So for yourself, but also for your mum and dad, that must have been a big day, wasn't it?
Obviously, there's a lot of travelling, and it's at that time of the year when some of the horses are they've had a tough season. I suppose St Nick didn't have a very as hard a season as some horses can have going there, and he was working nicely beforehand, and we were hopeful that he'd run well. But to win as well as he did was somewhat of a surprise, I suppose.
Brilliant speed down the centre. St Nicholas Abbey with a late run. Serafina could not quicken with him, is trying to come on late, but it's St Nicholas Abbey. St Nicholas Abbey, history in the making. St Nicholas Abbey, Joey O'Brien for his father, Aidan O'Brien. History is made. St Nicholas Abbey wins.
So that was 2011. You would have to be insane not to want to continue to do this, presumably. So are you going to continue riding flat winners 2012?
I will. I'll keep riding for as long as I can. Take it as it comes, and keep trying.
What could you do in 2012 which would be even better than what you've done so far, do you think?
Obviously the Breeders' Cup was an unbelievable highlighter last year, and it's very, very hard to top that.
I'm going to let you top it. You can have any race in the world. Which one?
Genie, God, I don't know. I suppose all the Derby and the Arc, but you know they're the biggest races in the world. Like, and but to see how it goes. I'm not going to say that I want to. You know, I'm not going to say I want to win this race or that race, or like you have to try and take as many opportunities and that are coming your way, and see how it goes after that.
I've been around Ballydolye this morning, luckily enough, having a look around. It's amazing setup. But you grew up with this, so at what stage did you think, I want to ride a Group 1 winner?
I suppose since I was very small, always growing up, I always wanted to be a jockey and ride horses, and for things to happen like they have, it's a lot of people grow up thinking that and wanting to be a jockey, and a lot of people it doesn't happen, and I've been very lucky to get some great opportunities.
Some people would want to, I guess, just work with horses, or maybe do something else in the industry. Lots of other people from racing families do that. Why race riding?
I always rode ponies, and I was always riding horses, and it was something that I was very interested in from a very young age, and it's just something I always wanted to do.
What kind of a kick do you get
when
you boot one home in front?
It's a great feeling. It's very hard to put into words, but you get a great kick out of it, and it's great to be in a position that you can. So these things can happen.
He knew that his son was up to the task. That the shame here is this kid won't stay small enough to be riding these kind of races much longer.
He'll be lucky to get another year.
At nudging 6 feet tall, Joseph's riding weight has always cast a long shadow over his long-term prospects. Making 9 stone had proved a challenge during 2011. How long will he be able to keep his weight low enough to remain a viable flat pilot?
Obviously, it's going to be tough. It always is, and I suppose a lot of jockeys struggle with their weight. So I'll try not to kill myself too much and try and be able to do 9 stone for this year again. And please God, I'll be able to get through, and I won't kill myself, like I said. But I'll do my best and take it as it comes after that.
What's the key to it? Because it seems to me people are understanding better how to ride at the right weight. Certainly, jump jockeys who've struggled with it in the past, and flat guys as well. Understanding of nutrition and exercise and stuff is better. So, what's the key for you? Is it, how are you going to make it happen?
I suppose just eat the good food and plenty of exercise and keep fit, plenty of work, and after that, then there's not much you can do, and it's in the lap of the gods really. But yeah, I'll do my best, and I do plenty of running and things to keep fit. So see what happens. Obviously, I'm quite tall. Hopefully, I've stopped growing, but I can't do a whole lot about that either. So we'll see how it goes.
What happens if you can't keep going on the flat? Would that be a big blow?
Obviously, I'll take it if it happens, and obviously I'm tall, so it may happen. But I think I'll be fine for this year anyhow. So I'll keep trying, and keep working at it, and keep fit and healthy. So, like I said, after that, there's not much more I can do. I would like to ride over jumps in the future.
Mad, aren't you?
Whether I'd want to be a jump jockey for the rest of my life, It's another question, but I definitely would like to ride over jumps in the future.
It's not going to be the same though, is it?
I suppose I can't say that until I do it, but it's that I've had some great success in the flat. It'd be very hard to top that.
Okay, so you're here working from the crack of dawn, and you're riding work, and then you're going racing, and then working on the diet, and you're working on the fitness. So when do you relax, and what do you do to relax? What do you do to unwind?
I don't have a whole lot of time really, but I suppose I come home and I watch a bit of television or that. I don't have a whole lot to do outside. Here I work here every day, so it's when you're racing and you're doing different things, and there's ponies to do, the lads of ponies, and I just plenty of work, so I'm kept busy.
Now, of course, there are those who would say, Joseph, that the only reason that you've achieved all this success, all these top race wins, and the number of wins you had, is because of who you are. It's because you're part of this setup. What do you say to people who say that?
Maybe they're right, but I suppose everyone here works hard, and all the horses and everything is when you try and do things right, and I suppose when you get some nice opportunities, and when you put in the work, and some of them do come right. So I think when you put in the work at home and everything is right on the day, there's not much you can do after that.
I'd be pretty annoyed if it was me. Did it not get to you at all?
Obviously, everyone has entitled to their opinion, and that's they want to put their opinion out there that way. That's fine by me.
Your dad doesn't sit you down at the start of the season and say, "Don't worry, son, I'm going to give you a hatful of chances this year." No?
No.
Doesn't work like that.
No, obviously you take it as it comes, and whatever way it works out, it works out. So let's see how it goes.
Is there extra pressure riding for your own family, knowing what's at stake for these horses and all that kind of stuff? Is it even tougher in a way?
Well, I suppose there's always an amount of pressure, no matter what way you look at it. But I suppose you try and just leave that to the side, and when you do your best, that's all you can do. And after that, there's not much that's left for you to do. You just have to do your best and hope it goes right.
Okay. And who gives you the most advice, Mum or Dad?
I get plenty of advice off both of them. I'm very lucky.
I know you very rarely mess up. If you get something wrong, who's going to give it to you?
I suppose I get it from both angles.
Harsh critics? Or?
If I make a mistake, I'll know that I've made a mistake. But that's the way it has to be. There's no point making the mistakes and not learning from them. So you have to be told what you do, and everybody makes mistakes. So you have to move on and try not to let it happen again.
Well, Joseph is clearly a very fast learner, but is he fast enough a learner to be rewarded with a shot at one of the greatest prizes in world racing? A ride upon, so you think, in the Dubai World Cup?
Genie, I don't know that, but he's in good form. So obviously there's all them races there that will be looked at, and obviously they'll sit down and decide which way they want to go. But nothing is set in stone yet. But
you'd like to be on, wouldn't you?
You can't say that. Well, you would, of course, but he's a very good horse. But yeah, all them races are there that he could go to, so they'll decide close to the time.
Okay. He's a huge horse, so you think. Is he still... He can't be getting any bigger, can he?
I know, he's a very big horse, and he's a big, strong horse. He's a great looking horse and a great walker and a great temperament, so he's a fine horse.
What's the ambition for Joseph for 2012?
And like I said, I'll ride as many winners as possible and see what happens after that.
Can this year be better than last year, yes or no?
Obviously it can, but it'll be very hard. I had a great season last year, so to top that would be unbelievable, but obviously I'll try and keep trying and working hard and try and get to sit on a couple of good horses throughout the season and see what happens. Okay,
lots of horses to look forward to for next season. Give us one, Joseph, that you're most looking forward to for next year.
Obviously there's So You Think and all them horses, and maybe in Camelot. Both of them are exceptional last season, so if they can build on last season and onto this year, it'll be it's very exciting.
What about you personally? Do you have a personal favourite?
Not really. Obviously, Camelot was very good at the Racing Post Trophy, and maybe in in the Migler, and I ride outside, I think, at home, so I suppose I have a good relationship with him, so see what happens.
Okay. Last chance to answer back to anyone who says you've only achieved what you are because of, you know, where you live, who your parents are, and all that. What would you say to them?
They're entitled to their opinion. There's nothing I can do about that, but I suppose if they want to, if that's the way they look at it, then that's fine by me.
You sure?
Mm-hmm.
It's true there can be no better environment for a fledgling jockey than Ballydolye, but also no more exacting test than riding for that team. Joseph O'Brien may have been bred for the job, but it's his commitment, dedication and sheer ability that has enabled him to thrive. Weight permitting, he'll be a force at the highest level, where he'll continue to let his riding do the talking.